Hi, hello, hi everyone. This is Danny with Skin Harmonics, the first holistic skin resurfacing process. And I'm jumping on today to talk about a really big topic. I'm going to attempt to keep this um, under my 15-minute or 10-minute goal: acne. Like, this is something that I talk about in a million different ways for a lot of different clients because it is a huge topic and there's a lot happening with acne. So I'm going to just make some broad strokes about how to address acne. Now, the first thing that, of course, I want to mention, and more people are getting on board with this, is that at its root, acne is associated with a microbiome imbalance. So that means basically all the good bacteria and bad bacteria that's in our gut and our intestines gets thrown out of balance now, and that can be for so many different reasons, right? Like hormones, processed foods, blood sugar spikes, food allergies. We even inherit our first microbiome from our mother. So it's somewhat of a complicated topic, and I'm not an internal functional medicine doctor, so it's something that I don't address straight on because I'm not a nutritionalist and I don't do it quite that way. However, it's really important for anybody who's suffering with acne to absolutely have blood work done, to examine their diet, do different cleanses. Like, that's paramount. And what I specialize in is what needs to happen externally to support our skin so it can heal from acne and acne scarring. So some of the main things that are in opposition to what I offer, to what the mainstream acne protocols are. Number one is not dehydrating our skin. Now, some of the reason over the years past, before dermal nutrients were discovered, that this was our strategy was that we could get a mixed and temporary success rate by dehydrating and stressing our skin out so much that it sucked any of that congestion that was like lodged in our skin and being actively made in our skin. It never really shut down the production of it, but it shut down our native release function with our skin to release it. So acne is like a form of constipation, if you will, topically. And the thing that hijacks and shuts down our skin's native release function, by far the number one thing, is chronic dehydration. Because it used to be like this was our best strategy years ago because we couldn't help it release. Dermal nutrients hadn't been discovered yet. So the best that we could do would be to suppress it. And so with my method, there's a whole new rearrangement and realigning with nature's natural process of healing that can actually move things through the skin, not just press it down, suppress it, where it's still building up. It's causing all sorts of texture issues later in life. And while it's happening, there's scar tissue that builds up in our skin from having to hold these large amounts of congestion, blackheads, milia clusters, all of these things that get lodged in our skin with acne. So the number one thing that we have to do is we have to raise water levels, which means not using astringents, not using toner waters, not using scrubs, not using chemical peels, not using things that destroy our natural acid mantle barrier and allow for the chronic dehydration of our skin. Because what is on the heels of chronic dehydration through normal acne protocols is anxiety and inflammation. And every time our acid mantle is removed, bypassed, scrubbed away, every time we give our skin trauma through microneedling, microdermabrasion, lasers, just the act of over exfoliating our skin, it's drying and it doubles as an anxiety. It's an anxiety bomb for our skin. So now our skin is completely stressed out. Sebaceous gland production increases because that's what happens with dehydrated skin. It fulfills its life purpose of making oil to trap water in our skin. And if our skin never has any oil on it and the acid mantle is destroyed, then it's overproducing oil. So now we have skin that is irritated, it's mad, it's dehydrated, and this exasperates acne. So I know that that's kind of hard to hear because for many, many years, and it's how I was taught, that's what we had to do with acne. We had to dry it out, dry it out, dry it out. And there's this obsession with killing bacteria, and taking all of our natural oils away. And what has happened is there's been a mixed success rate, and I would venture to say a zero success rate when it comes to long-term skin health, because skin that's over exfoliated and is dealing with inflammation on a daily basis ages much more quickly than skin that's not. So the correct protocols when it comes to working with acne and helping to move acne and all that congestion through our skin, rather than just trying to stomp it down in some delusionary fashion for years, is to hydrate. Abstain from acne cleansers and all acne products. Find cleansers that are very gentle, or skip a cleanser for, sometimes I say almost a month initially, just to help the natural acid mantle return to our skin and our skin to find its natural balance. So minimal cleansing and using a true hydrating mist, which essentially is spring water and maybe rose water. Those would be the things that would truly hydrate. All of these toners and acne astringents and pore minimizing mists and toners are out, because even essential oils that have lavender and tea tree in it are too astringent. All of the citruses, no bueno, that's something that's way too dehydrating as well. And then you need to get on a hydrating serum. And then the thing that helps acne heal the fastest topically is dermal nutrients. So instead of scrubbing our skin to get it to make new skin cells, this new way is all about feeding our skin in a meaningful way that literally increases new skin cell production. In a way, as if we're traumatizing it, but we're not. We're feeding it. And so now we have this holistic way of resurfacing our skin, pushing up that old congestion and getting it out. That's not trauma-based, and it's not inflammatory-based. Because in the right doses, dermal nutrients, when you hit that sweet spot, your skin just transforms. Now, to support this process, there's something called extractions, and that's the actual literal removal extractions of blackheads and milia clusters and all those pustules that can happen with the skin. And I know, again, that this is kind of a controversial topic. In the past, people have been discouraged from extractions for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is kind of intense to go in and take stuff out of people's skin, and tools have to be sterile. There has to be the utmost immaculate cleanliness factor in place, and you can't pick scabs. You can't scrub your skin afterwards. There's a recovery period that skin goes through after it's, literally had things taken out that has to be honored. And also another reason is that if you don't do extractions, you could scar. And if you do extractions, you could scar. So it's you're kind of stuck between both places with having scarring inevitable. But the awesome thing about the dermal nutrients is, in the right dose, scarring the possibility of scarring is reduced to down to hardly nothing, which is really exciting, because now with proper technique, proper sanitation, and the right use of dermal nutrients, now we have this way to like speed up and put our skin on this really fast track to cleanse itself, to detox itself, to resurface, and then land at a place where it's been emptied of congestion. It arrives in this place where it's self-cleansing, that natural acid mantle is in place, natural oil production amounts are balanced, and our skin is set up to move forward now, pretty much acne free. Now that we've restored balance, the hard way, the right way, the messy way, it can move forward in life with like full success and full recovery. So that process that I'm talking about is this temporary healing phase that our skin goes through while it empties, which anybody I've ever taken through, and it's been hundreds and even thousands of people at this point, that it's worth it. It's like you can manage your acne and never really get anywhere and walk in circles and always be managing the symptoms, or you can hit it head on, go through a temporary healing phase and solve these texture issues, solve the amount of breakouts that you're having, like actually go through a deep healing, which is what I think we're all craving in every area of our life, and especially our skin. So that's kind of my quick overview of acne. There's probably some things that I'm forgetting in this moment. Every acne case is the same and different, and that's why it's important that you find yourself a skilled practitioner that can take you through the process and not let you get confused or turn around and quit when it's time to push forward. And that's really important, because so often there's this temporary healing phase which isn't recognized as such, and then there's like, oh, it's not working, it's getting worse, and we're going to turn around and quit and try something else, which continues to like lengthen how long it takes in the end. So that's something that I love to do and I specialize in, is keeping people on track and looking at all of the signals that's unique to everybody's skin in their unique healing process, and noticing, okay, when do we need to take back the dermal nutrients? When do we need to increase exfoliation to a degree? And when to give our skin a break from extractions, and when to push forward so that we can turn that corner and get our skin, in that place where it might not be perfect yet, but it will eventually. And at least we've turned that corner of getting over that hump of where it's way better than when we started. And now you can just meander and take your time in a sustainable way towards having perfect skin, which means it's not like you're never going to have a breakout. And in fact, it means that you will get a few breakouts, but the difference is that they're going to move through your skin with no drama. Your skin's ability to release has been onboarded, activated, and it's in place, which is going to give you healthy skin for the rest of your life. Okay, so this was my attempt to do some broad strokes around acne. And thanks for listening, and definitely check out skinharmonics.com. And there's a blog, I wrote a book, there's a lot of information on my website so that you can start to, realign your skin with a better way of being. All right, I'll see you guys next time.